Hi friends, today I have with me Vinod Nevji. Vinod Nevji, welcome to my show. This is Amber Pravalkar Oxides,
Thank you.
A2O, and nice to have you in Goa. Known you for a long time since Audut had put me across to you and in Kuwait. And how is the feel in Kuwait? You know, it's a deserted country. Now a lot of things are happening in Gulf. Oman, UAE has got one-day status, and then Saudi is also trying to notch something. Kuwait also is knocking doors of something. Let me know your experience on that.
Nothing more to tell you because you've been in GCC, you've been in India, you've been in many other parts of the world. But at the same time, like if you come back to GCC, all the GCC countries are knocking the doors of ODI status. Kuwait is literally through it. So things are happening in Kuwait. We have limited resources, and that's what it is. I mean, whatever we have, it is more into the part-time culture because we don't play 7 days a week cricket, we play weekends, and that's what it is.
Yeah, of course. I was a part of the GCC and I was part of ACC also when I was a match referee for an under-19 game, and Kuwait had a very strong team and there were two brothers. They were really good. I don't know whether still they play cricket, and they almost knocked off even UAE team. You know that particular tournament qualifiers. And Kuwait is doing good. How is your boys? How the parents respond to you? How is the things? How you nurture it? It's a different zone altogether. What happens in India and what happens in Kuwait?
Yeah, very much spot on. I'll just get very quickly to that point of you mentioning that different culture. Kids coming from UAE and GCC are not naturally, sports-oriented kids. They're very laid back, more gadgeted kids.
Physically also.
Exactly. I mean, physically, there is the height and the weight and the body and structure, but there is no skill set to it. There is no culture to it, which is very, very difficult, and that's exactly what we are trying. It's taken me around literally 10 years now, a decade now to really switch that, that gauge where we want to make sure that we input a culture. And like you said, to travel throughout the world, and getting a cricket culture just can't happen overnight.
Kuwait longs for people like you. I think you should go to the right channels and take them more far away. And I'm sure Kuwait is knowing this, what's happening. He's coming on a tour to India, on his planning these things. And how about the tour? How did that come into your head?
Last year when we thought of going to Bangalore, okay, I just got a sneak peek opportunity, I just took it up. And the only main purpose of going to India is I wanted to figure out, is our coaching good enough to challenge Indian culture? But we went to India, we reached the finals, we got beaten by a UAE team.
Oh, it was
two GCC teams playing in Bangalore, okay, knocking out far too many teams. But yes, it was a great experience. This year when it was Goa, I became nostalgic. So
again, you again in the finals this year, again All India Trophy, and you got knocked out by Nasik. Next time you're going to take the trophy, hopefully, and you're going to participate regularly in the Bikobai Angle Trophy. And it's a nice thing to have you in Goa. It's your hometown, and we know it's from Sourdam and played a lot of cricket in Goa as well. And how did it end up in Kuwait actually? You're a shippy.
I'm not a shippy basically. Yes, my parents were in Kuwait for a long while, and then I just happened to be there. After 10 years of working corporate culture, then I slowly slipped into coaching, and then now coaching has really taken me 2 steps ahead, and I'm completely full-time coaching.
So you're only doing cricket coaching now?
Absolutely.
There's nothing more, that's your profession and that's how you spend your time, and
Absolutely.
that's your way of earning money.
Absolutely. Money will definitely come. As you say, money is the secondary thing always.
But that's the way your profession is. Your fees are coming from that. Great to have you. The last question is this. You have the Gulf countries and Kuwait has been doing well. How long is it going to take these kids and Kuwait to get the one-day status? What do you think? What's going to happen?
I think it's almost there. I think recently they have they have been playing the one-day format. Not for long, but now I think they have literally crashed the doors open for the one-day status. Kuwait has actually achieved that, the ODI status. We'll see how cricket really progresses in Kuwait. I mean,
you have tough wickets there? How many tough wickets?
We have only one turf ground, unfortunately, and like I said, the resources is a major problem. But let's see. We don't know what future has in store. This ground in Darbandara, all the grounds here, I want to thank Biku Hemant sir. I mean, he was somebody who we played cricket for ages, and now he is just on a phone call away, and he just told me, just take your team and we'll take care. I'm very, very grateful. Before we wind up, I'm very, very grateful to not only Hemant sir, but all my friends, including you. I mean, you people are one phone call away, and you just got your team back. Splendid. I mean, when it comes to the culture, it takes a lot of efforts. Parents are getting involved. Amazing.
You're doing an awesome job, Vinod. You're another Goan who's doing well outside Goa and taking in different country. Kuwait, there have been Sandesh Duri who does a lot of things in Oman, now he's in US, Rajesh Naik, Sandeep Duri, so many names. Myself also was there for some time. We have been doing nice, another Goan doing well outside the country. I hope we get noted for this by Kuwait as well as Goa. And that's important because we are not running after the commercial point of view, but we want to get noted. We want to be felt that there is something happening. And we know they'll give hats off to you and good job.
Yes, one last time before I sign up, like you said, you want to give back something to Bone Cricket.
Thank you.